Psalm 124, God our protector in times of danger. Psalm 124 is a communal song of gratitude in which David invites all of Israel to look back and recognize that their survival depended entirely on the Lord's protection. The psalm opens with a dramatic call, "If it had not been the Lord who was on our side," and David urges Israel to echo this truth. By repeating the phrase, he draws the people into a shared confession, one that acknowledges that human threats and hostile forces had once risen against them. These enemies were not merely inconveniences or minor dangers, they posed a real threat of destruction. To describe what would have happened without God's intervention, the psalm uses striking imagery. First, Israel would have been swallowed alive, a picture of sudden and violent annihilation, like a wild beast consuming helpless prey. This metaphor reveals how fierce and angry their enemies were. Israel, on its own, had no natural means of escape. The imagery then shifts from beasts to waters, floodwaters that would have overwhelmed them and swept over their very soul. In ancient Hebrew thought, uncontrollable floodwaters symbolized chaos, disaster, and forces beyond human power. David's point is clear: without God, Israel would have been completely overcome, destroyed beyond recovery. But the tone of the psalm turns from imagined disaster to heartfelt thanksgiving. Blessed be the Lord, who has not given us as prey to their teeth. God did not hand his people over to destruction. Instead, he protected them from those who sought to devour them. The next image reinforces this deliverance. Israel is like a bird that has escaped from the snare of a fowler. A trapped bird is utterly powerless, yet the snare is broken, not by the bird's effort but by God's intervention. This symbolizes deliverance from a situation in which Israel had no strength or strategy that could save them. God himself shattered what held them captive. The psalm concludes with a declaration that captures the heart of Israel's faith: "Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth." This final line grounds their confidence not in circumstance, ability, or numbers but in the very identity of God. The one who created the universe is their helper. Therefore, no enemy or disaster can ultimately overcome them. Psalm 124, read as a whole, is a reminder of human vulnerability, divine protection, and the necessity of remembering God's past deliverances. It teaches that gratitude grows when we acknowledge that the threats we survived were real, and that our escape was possible only because the Creator was on our side.
Psalm 124, a song of ascents of David. If it had not been the Lord who was on our side, let Israel now say, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side, when men rose up against us, then they would have swallowed us alive. When their wrath was kindled against us, then the waters would have overwhelmed us, the stream would have gone over our soul, then the swollen waters would have gone over our soul. Blessed be the Lord, who has not given us as prey to their teeth. Our soul has escaped as a bird from the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken, and we have escaped. Our help is in the name of the Lord who made heaven and earth.